weed every day.
Now,
No,
Charlie,
I'm
a
joking.
lot of
I don't
voters,
smoke weed.
unfortunately, throughout the
Well,
country
at
are
least not
apathetic.
since
They're avoidant,
college.
don't get out there, aren't politically engaged, especially in local elections. Bringing TMZ into this conversation, knowing how popular it is,
But
knowing how
anyway,
its young audience is easily accessible through social media with your quick clips and information, do you think this will help get people more civically engaged?
Oh, that's the goal. 100%. We want to introduce these politicians to America because there's over 500 of them, and most Americans couldn't name a handful. And there's like no judgment on that. I couldn't either. You know what I mean? Like we live busy lives. We watch Real Housewives instead of watching the news because it's more entertaining and fun. So we kind of wanted to make news a little bit more entertaining and fun while also trying to get big stories.
I mean, what I've noticed is that over time, politicians have become more like reality TV stars, not just our literal president, but there are a higher proportion of them that aspires to social media stardom, etc. I mean, this is all much easier now that the Twitter and anyone can point their phone at their face at all times and just bypass traditional media gatekeepers like ourselves in a way that might be is healthy and is unhealthy in other ways. Have you noticed that among the people you're talking to?
I'm not sure. I'd say that people are just really excited to have something I think a little bit different on the hill. There's a lot of people who are fighting for the same questions, and when me and Charlie come and we're talking about something that's pop culture related or something that is a personal interest of theirs, it brightens them up a little bit. And what we're trying to do is have a conversation. It's not just usually a one-off question and then they walk away. Sometimes that happens, but we like to
hey,
have
yeah,
a
I got that.
dialogue.
I'm
And if
fine.
we can hit on something that's maybe politics related, pop culture, sports, and something about their DC life, I would view that as a successful interaction.
Some part of me
On your
thinks
way
about
home
TMZ and
from
thinks
work.
about the drama of it all and the transgressions of it all, and wondering if that will be part of the reporting. But I know also at the same time we have President Trump as the president, Ken Paxton running a somewhat
Okay.
successful race in Texas, and Graham Plattner running his race in Maine,
Let
who
me
has
ask. Let me ask a
limitations when it
goofy
comes to his
question to you.
transgressions. Is that part of the reporting to get down to the
um,
bottom of like
so you
people's
know I used to live in Philly,
dark
right? So I used
secrets,
to love
or
Philly
do
steaks.
you
I
think
mean, I
that
still
the
love Philly
public doesn't even
steaks,
care about that kind of thing with
but I
politics?
don't like cheese. So I always
Look,
ate
we
my Philly
know
steaks
that we
without
do want
cheese.
soup,
Now my
but
question
we're
is,
looking
can
for
you eat a
the
chopped
latest soup
cheese? I
specifically.
I know that
We
sounds
just
goofy because
want
the
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 news
very
and
name of
we
the
want to
sandwich,
report
right?
it
But can you
fairly.
eat a
We
chopped cheese
want,
without
you know,
cheese?
the
The same way
politicians
you
we
can have a Philly
represent
steak
to
without
trust
cheese?
that we're going to be fair and
That is an
our
honest
opinions
question. I'm
and
sorry if that
willing
sounds
to
silly,
know that what
but
they're projecting is
I
accurate.
wanted to ask like a native
Are
New
you
Yorker, and
Trying
I
to
forgot to
find
ask my friend
was it
yesterday.
Tom Keene who's been
I might
missing,
ask
who's
him
been
too just to see if he thinks
misrepresentation?
something
This
differently.
congressman that just got endorsed by Trump for reelection, whom no one can even find. I know suffered some health problem. I complain very frequently about the increasing age of our members of Congress. They're so
It's okay.
shielded
So people,
from
so
competition in many
next time
places
I'm
that
in New
they
York,
are
right,
literally
and
dying in
if
office.
if I go to a
That's why I
bodega
welcome more of the kind of
or
scrutiny that you guys are able to
well, I was about
do
to say I
for
might visit my
Americans who
sister
see,
in Brooklyn,
not
but
all of
we
them,
don't get
some
along
of
like
them
that,
I've
so
seen come
never mind.
across
Because I'm gonna say I
a
could
little out of
maybe go
touch,
to a
particularly
deli
on,
in
well, pop
Brooklyn,
culture. Not that maybe that's
but
relevant in
I don't
today's
even hang out with
culture
my younger
so
sister like that.
important now when they
Um,
actually
thanks,
talk to you about
Emmy-Y1V says I'm a
It was
subscribe.
great because
Appreciate
you
that.
Yeah, I
started with
think
the
that's
use don't
definitely
I
say no
appreciate it a
vote,
lot.
and now you say please stay.
Um,
And I
but
think
yeah,
talk me over
I just
there.
wanted to know in case I go to New York and go to a bodega and ask for a
So
chopped
tell
cheese
me,
without
what
cheese,
what
they're
No,
not
that
gonna look at me
that
crazy.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
that,
ahead.
that's what I want to
Yeah, I
ask.
know we're all
Do
talking
you
on the
see
phone right now. It's
other
hard to know when
folks
to jump in. So
ever ordering
please
the
go.
chopped cheese without
No,
the
I want you to
cheese?
go ahead and answer what you were
Because
going to say, and then I'll follow up.
or is there and
No,
is there a different
I'm
way
just
to
saying.
ask for it so it
The
doesn't
way
sound
that
retarded?
the
Like, can I have a chopped
content is
cheese without
targeted
cheese?
interesting.
You
And
know,
I
that's
don't think
like
there's
to
so
me
many
it
people
sounds
that have
goofy, like
anywhere
asking for a
near as
hamburger without
here's
the
a
burger.
congressman, a sitting
So I want
congressman
to
who
know.
hasn't been on the
So
Hill
that's what I want to
in
know.
months and just
Can
got
I get a
endorsed
chopped
by the
cheese
president.
without the
I
cheese
think
on
that's
it?
definitely something I'm
And
playing
do I
down
ask
on the
for it
Hill. I'm sure a lot of
differently?
people might be as well. But I think that's a story that the country would be very interested in getting to know that maybe so far they might not be aware of.
And my question to you was, what's the response been? You guys are coming to town. You see us in suits, Robbie full tie. You guys got the t-shirts on, doing your own thing. But are people like noticing you and like now asking you to come interview them? Like, what's the exchange been? Are people running away from you guys? What's the deal?
Now they're running towards us, and
You can ask for no cheese at all.
have a good
Okay.
interaction.
So,
They know that,
but what I'm saying is but I still say, can I get a chopped cheese with no cheese at all? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Structure on the hill. So we've been trying
I just
to
don't want to sound retarded asking one.
we
Like,
think it's going to continue.
like, hey brother, can I get a chopped
You
cheese
also
but
gotta
with no
test
cheese on
our,
it? I want them looking at me
some
like,
local gems in terms of
you know what I mean?
cuisine. I can't remember which one you said you guys thought you liked so much. Was that tongue in cheek or was that serious?
Yeah, it was a complete joke. I mean, it dawned on me and Charlie when we first got to DC that this whole town, particularly Capitol Hill, is obsessed with
Like, when I'm in Philly, I can ask for a hoagie, no cheese. I ask for like Philly steak with no cheese. So some people just call them cheesesteaks, but I just say, Philly steak because that's the way of, telling them I don't want cheese on it. Be like, yo, let me get a steak, no cheese. Because the typical Philly cheesesteak, it's your meat, your cheese, your ketchup, and onions. That's a Philly cheesesteak. Because everyone else, they usually people from out of town, they order all the sides on their Philly cheesesteak, not knowing a cheesesteak doesn't come with all the sides. I mean, you can ask for those, but typically when people are asking for all those sides, that comes on the hoagie, not on the cheesesteak. So I guess that's what I'm asking. You said they will think you're funny. That's what I'm trying to say. How do I ask for it without sounding goofy? That's what I'm saying. Like, how do I say? Like, do I say something? Can I say? Can I get a chopped without cheese? I don't know. Like, can I say? Can I get a chop without cheese? Or do I still say? Can I get a chopped cheese without cheese? Because if I say, it just sounds weird to say, can I get a chopped cheese without cheese? It sounds like I would think, I don't know, that you could just say, let me get a chop without the cheese. I don't know. I've been thinking about that lately just because I want to try one, but I don't like cheese. It's not that I can't eat cheese, I just don't like cheese.
Because DC is a more confined space.
Except on pizza. Pizza is the exception. I'm a ninja. All ninjas must eat pizza.
Like my walk on my scoot. I don't know if you're enjoying
Just say chop
scooter.
without the cheese.
Oh,
I figured that's how you say, let me get a chop without the cheese. I figured that's how you ask for it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate meeting you.
That's what I thought.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Georgia Senator John Ossoff is in the spotlight. I'm going to discuss that next in my lens. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Rising. Lindsay, what is in your lens today?
Okay. If you weren't paying attention,
But that's what I'll say. I'll say chop without the cheese. I'm gonna ask my homeboy. He lived in New York for a while. He lived in Harlem up until he used to work for the cable company. Remember when the cable company went on strike like 8 years ago, right? And then all those people who went on strike just ended up getting fired.
He's building a monument to himself.
And I told him when during that strike, I was like, dude, why are you striking with this union? I was like, they're not looking out for your interests. He didn't want to listen. So anyway, to make a long story short, he moved out to Washington State, all the way across the other side to the West Coast, and has been living out there basically as working the gig economy as a as a ride share and all that sort of stuff. But so he's lived in New York most of his life, so I'm gonna ask him as well what he thinks about asking about like New York food, cable vision. No, so what was the the name of the big cable company out there that pretty much everyone hated. And then remember they were gonna merge with
He was mentored by civil rights icon John Lewis and first captured national attention
with
on Georgia's historic
whatever company, and then that got blocked by the federal government. So then they decided to merge with another smaller but big cable company out the Midwest.
Are even struggling to navigate. He's not a progressive.
Not it wasn't Cablevision. It was the big one.
He's not a centrist who avoids confrontation either.
What was the name of it? I forgot the name of the big cable.
For example, he supported the Republican.
I forgot.
Lincoln Riley Act,
But it was the biggest cable company out there next to the one that was here in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Those votes gave him bipartisan credentials at a time when swing voters often say they want politicians.
Not Verizon. Verizon's party line. I mean, they're all blurred now, but Verizon wasn't a cable company. They were like a telephone company. I'm talking about the cable company.
Political class disconnected from everyday Americans.
It doesn't matter, but anyway, he was working for the big cable company out there until they went on strike because they thought they weren't getting the benefits they deserved, especially with the upcoming merger. The merger was blocked by the federal government, and then they ended up merging with another company instead, and then all those people that were striking with that union got laid off. So.
For 2028. Now that may sound premature. After all, Ossoff still has to win re-election first. But the truth is that many Democrats are searching for a new generation of leaders who can connect with younger voters, appeal to suburban moderates, and compete in battleground states. Ossoff checks those boxes. Now, whether that translates into a White House run someday remains to be seen. He's denied he's even pursuing one. But as Republicans continue battling over who gets the chance to face him, Ossoff is doing something every politician hopes to do, controlling the conversation before the real fight even begins.
Well, look, I will be perfectly honest and say that John Ossoff is a rather formidable political character. I always talk about how substance is more important than style.
You said optimum?
And
No. I'll look it up.
The vast majority of the policies he represents, although I do appreciate that he's a little bit more, as you noted, of a original or non-traditional thinker. I mean, I think your monologue was very good in capturing that he's not left. He's also not central. He's a creative character, and in a way I appreciate. I also, in addition to the crypto, I kind of trust him a little bit more than the average Democrat on a lot of tech issues, which are so important to me. So in substance, I do find him more appealing than some other Democrats, and then on style, he is certainly a gifted political actor. That speech was very good.
Yeah, so it's also saying Cablevision Systems Corporation, but that wasn't it. That wasn't the big one. That wasn't the big one that everyone hated. That's what I was trying to say.
So
it's not cable.
A very remarkable politician. I think he's one of the most talented political figures. Wow. That's sad. And I think he's absolutely going to win re-election. I think there's no chance he goes down. I wouldn't even try.
God, I fucking hate Bing, yo. Let me get Google. Just give me fucking Google. Google search and stop fucking playing with me.
There'll be not a likelihood of him running for president is because they'll need him in that Senate seat, right? Because someone else would be vulnerable. He's not vulnerable in that spot because he is quite good at what he's doing. So, hats off to him. I respect solid opposition. He knows what he's doing and has a bright future.
And the conversation, I didn't pull all the tweets, but there were even people that were sharing it like, okay, this looks and feels like Obama in 2006, as he was getting ready to run, even though people kind of knew his name, didn't say anything. And the more we've been talking, the more we know who the political Democratic players are going to be for the next presidential election. We think we know, right? We're naming people like Pete Buttigieg. He's doing a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, it was Time Warner Cable. That's what it was. Time Warner. It was Time Warner Cable, and then they merged with Spectrum Cable. Originally, they wanted to merge with the primary cable company in New York before it was acquired and rebranded as Spectrum was Time Warner Cable. Charter Communications acquired Time Warner Cable in May 2016 and subsequently rebranded all of its services, including internet and television, under the Spectrum name.
MAGA supported by Trump. So y'all can't even
While Time Warner Cable is the most prominent provider in New York City and surrounding areas during the modern cable era, other legacy and regional providers also served parts of the state prior to various acquisitions: Cablevision, Adelphia, Comcast. So we had Comcast down here. Originally, Time Warner wanted to merge with Comcast, but the merger with Comcast was blocked. So then they ended up merging with with Charter Communications. And then it became they renamed themselves Spectrum. That's what I was trying to figure out.
And the president has kind of left the party out to dry by him probably.
But Cablevision was never like one of the major ones. It was Time Warner. And I remember people in New York used to hate Time Warner as much as people down here hated Comcast.
But who knows? I mean, I know you're not sad when people are gone forever.
No, I'm just it's Trump's party.
But I would like to see what happens. Louis, our senior producer, was telling me about Asa for a while. I've been looking at him, but I'm like, we'll see. Newsom talks every day. He's so in my Twitter feed every single day. I see him. Right, and Newsom's polling on all the
Ossoff is 30.
sites.
We'll have 50 more chances.
Yeah, but this was the story of Obama, right? He was too young. It was Hillary's time.
He wasn't that young.
But he was skipping his turn.
Obama was what? He was in his late 40s?
Well, I think there was a whole book by Mark Halperin that talked about how Obama was skipping his turn in line and kind of was not supposed to be. And Hillary was kind of pissed off about it because he didn't wait. And so obviously Ossoff has a little more time. He's younger, but he's still, if he wants to skip the line and he's playing his own game and he has a unique train of thought, I could see in a year coming out the blue where no one's saying any other name besides Ossoff, and that would be really interesting, especially as Kamala weighs out what she wants to do.
He's charismatic. He speaks well. He's good looking. I mean, that's what we talk.
And the cadence, he had the Obama cadence.
Yeah,
he said pause. He waited for people to clap him up. He got it down to a science.
He's doing the most basic kind of rhetoric and speech and debate tactics to good effect.
Yeah. All right. Coming up on Rising, President Trump reportedly fumed at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over his country's Lebanon campaign.
He's caught. When it comes to retrieval, you're the umpire. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it.
Wow, look at this. 94% of people believe company culture is important to an organization's success. Frankly, I have no idea what the other 6% are thinking. You know, usually when people look at ways to improve culture, they look for best practices. And best practices are good, but they're even better when you put them with best principles. Since Bamboo HR was founded, we've looked for principles we believe will make our people, and in turn, our culture, better. And we found company culture formulas that
Chop without the
we
cheese.
crammed it all into the definitive guide to culture. For a free copy, click the link and go download it now. You won't regret it. Don't like the price? Well, you can also pay with 3 easy installments of free. Go ahead. Go check it out. Or stick around while I read silently about picking the right perks and monitoring culture metrics. Nope, it's not working. Can't read while you're watching me. So just go check it out. It's easy. Free.
President Trump reportedly fuming at his Israeli counterpart, Benjamin Netanyahu, yesterday after Israel escalated its attacks in Lebanon, prompting Iran to threaten to pull out of negotiations with the U.S.
According to Axios, Trump told Netanyahu, quote, "You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." And at one point reportedly yelled at the Israeli prime minister, "What the F are you doing?" According to Axios, after the dressing down, Israel's paused its plans to attack the Lebanese capital, Beirut. Trump changed his tone on True Social, writing after the call, I had a conversation with Bibi Netanyahu today, asking him not to go into a major raid of Beirut, Lebanon. He turned his troops around. Thank you, Bibi. Yeah, this was interesting because I actually saw some people on the left complaining, or the anti-Israel people complaining, that this always happens. There's always a strategic leak to the media that the president is very furious with Israel, in order to reassure Israel skeptical people on the right and left that, in order to sate their anger.
So before you dismiss that, why is that not believable? So the president could
I'll
also.
tell you what they said.
No, I know that the president could genuinely be upset. We know that he said the same thing about Iran, reportedly, called them crazy. Actually, he put that on Truth Social, crazy MF. He put a bunch of words on Truth Social, cursing them out, telling he's going to explode them, the whole country. But with Israel, who's our ally, there's a push and pull relationship, right? Part of it is that we are now in this war that a lot of people think is directly tied to that country wanting us to be in that war. And the other part is the president trying to save face. So intentionally leaking something like this, where you were very strident and effective in your communication and going off saying that you are equally as strong, you're not a pushover. That kind of lets you know that the president, to all his people that don't support this or want us to pull back our support or even this war, he's saying directly to them, well, I'm showing some restraint and telling Israel, like, this is, or they need to restrain themselves. I'm actually putting,
Sure, but I think the point is it's not enough or good enough for America First, who were skeptical from this war in Iran to begin with. I think that skepticism is being pretty much validated as we still don't have a deal. What is this situation with the deal?
but it's telling them your president is fighting. That's the whole point of this messaging, right? We're not being sidelined. I'm adamantly communicating my needs. It's not just
No, it's saying don't turn on the president because behind closed doors he really does have your back when there's no change in policy. It's a band-aid. It's trying to convince people not to lose hope.
So that would be the reason why I think that it was leaked, because I think the president would like to convince people not to. Yeah, the president would like to convince people not to lose hope. We're on the same page about why I'm saying, you said Democrats, and they changed that to people who are anti-Israel. Well, across the board, people are saying there's a benefit to the president releasing this or having his team release this, because he doesn't look soft on the stance of foreign policy in regards to Israel.
But I guess what they're saying is that it's manufactured. It's not. He'll do that. Probably Netanyahu knows he's going to do that. That it's not meaningful, and it'll look like they backed off doing something, but the same policy will continue.
And will continue to be in this chaos.
Beholden to Israel.
And I think that the president might be trying to send a message to Iran, more importantly, to say, don't leave the negotiations.
What's up? What's up? He said, what's up, Brooklyn? It's been some time.
We're trying to come to
Yeah, it's been a minute.
we have this memorandum in place so that 60 days we're not going to attack each other. We're trying to work through that and then come to a conclusion on the nuclear capabilities of the country. Don't abandon this, because then I'm back at square one. Even though the U.S. is a superpower, it does not benefit us in any way to continually be at square
It's hot
one.
out here, man.
So close to the midterms, which doesn't
Oh, broski, yeah.
our economy and stuff.
I'd hope the Iranians would not want to go back to square one, because then bombings are.
I'm just been chilling.
But
Well, the tough talk is happening across.
I halfway gave up with the channel, so that's why I've been kind of just. I haven't been putting much effort into my streams just because I don't see the point.
Outcome, we just don't want to do
Getting
that
off the
because
train
we're
now will link
humanitarian.
Did you see the
soon.
latest message
Okay, cool.
saying that they feel that Israel is like violating the ceasefire? Iran is speaking out directly.
Lebanon plan.
Right.
That's what made Trump so mad.
Exactly. So then obviously
They were right to be
saying,
mad.
right,
Trump was right to be mad.
right, so the president's response shouldn't be, do you want to go back to square one or we're bombing you? It should be to try to have Israel be on the same page as the U.S.
Well, his response is being like, "Look, I pulled Israel back. My rabid dog, I have leashed it. So take me seriously." That's what he's saying to Iran. But I know from dealing with, talking to America First, anti-Israel left and right people, they'll say that's not good enough. That's to get us to quiet down and stop demanding that the foreign policy be less beholden to Israel. You're trying to make it look like you've done something to stop them, but probably they just did that so that you get mad at them and then, okay, we're not doing that. See, you're in control, even though we're at war with Iran because that's what they wanted. But I'm saying that's from the
Right, and really
people think is really going on.
the goal is that the war ends, and the more that we convolute the conversation, add layers to what the negotiation looks like, and continue this back and forth, the more that we're not moving towards an ending, and that's frustrating to everybody who doesn't support the war. All right, meantime, the backlash surrounding the president's $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund seems to have taken its toll. According to our colleagues here at the Hill, the president has decided to scrap the fund after skepticism among Republicans in Congress and a court order demanding that the DOJ pause the program while it was being challenged in court. Now, as of Friday, a Florida judge has reopened Trump's case against the IRS. It's still not clear if other unpopular aspects of the settlement, like the agency's commitment not to investigate the Trump family and its associates, will also be rolled back.
Well, Lindsay,
Classic. I'm thrilled because not only wasn't Lindsay calling for criticism of what looks like very corrupt.
Our patriots who have been mistreated.
What I think that the corruption needs to stop. The president has asked never to be audited. Men and women that make 50 grand a year could get audited. No, the president was not wrong to the tune of $10 billion. They leaked the president's tax returns. They found out the president in 2016 and 2017 paid $750 of the million he made. He's embarrassed by that and suing for $10 billion and asking, please never audit me again. I want to continue to break the law. And while everyone else has to follow
The
the tax
IRS
code.
broke the law because they violated.
So how should the president be punished for breaking the law and not paying his taxes? Should he pay back the $100 million that he reportedly owes, according to the New York Times? What say you?
If he actually did violate tax law rather than just doing something creative to avoid paying taxes like everyone else does.
Okay. If everyone has the luxury to have the creative knowledge to not get audited.
The tax law is so complicated that I don't
wages
fault
stipend.
any single American for not paying them correctly. It is impossible to do so.
This fund,
Completely.
this fund, not only according to Democrats, but several Republicans have spoken out about this fund and said it's not the best idea. It doesn't look good. I played a last week, soundbite for everybody out there, of Megyn Kelly saying, what is this? I mean, I didn't think he was going to be this corrupt. I mean, there's people who literally have supported Trump through that are saying,
If
okay,
anyone
you
can
wanna
get
play
over an
that game.
IRS,
This is
let them
extreme
fuck the
playing in that
IRS.
game. You're not even trying to pretend like you're trying to follow any kind of rules here. You're asking the IRS never to audit you. You're trying to sue for
Taxing
$10 billion.
people's
And
income
now
is the
you're
dumbest
doing a
shit.
gentleman's handshake and saying, well, pay my homeboys and homegirls and we'll just call it even. No. There are people that might have been wronged by the government in real ways that actually could get paid out and not by the president's
That's what
friends.
the fund was to do.
No,
It was
January 6th.
for his friend. It was none of it said specifically for any group of people.
Yes, but the people that we know
It
are
was
going
going
to
to be
apply.
a commission who
A commission of friends of Trump to comb through each case and say, yes, you get the money. You like Oprah, you get money, you get money. No, that's not appropriate. This is not a game show. This is not a talk show. This is the government, and the president is not doing a good job of running it when he makes it benefit him constantly. And now he wants more billions that he's already
I think
acquired
the
from our
IRS
government.
leaks your tax documents. You should be able to sue them and be paid. And I think if the government abuses your civil liberties, you should be compensated.
And I think if you avoid paying taxes while the average Joe must, then you should be held to account. Well, I don't know. Wait, $750 is appropriate too? Did you pay $750 in taxes last year?
I don't
Trump makes much more than you,
specifically up to date on.
but you didn't pay anything close to $750.
No, I paid a giant amount in taxes.
Okay.
I pay income tax just like you, and the income tax rate is very high. It's like
So how did he get to
40%.
$750? I mean, not $750,000, not even $7,500.
If I didn't make any income, and he probably didn't have any, his income is in assets that he holds, and so or his wealth, not his income. And then when you sell that, then he pays property tax for everything he owns. He pays the sales tax when you buy something. He doesn't pay income tax because he didn't have income.
You have to stop making excuses
When you-
for corruption. People don't like
This
it.
is corruption.
I mean, this is
how-
why Ossoff is so popular, because he's talking about what looks blatantly corrupt. People who like the president directly are talking about what might
You
look
just don't like
blatantly
wealthy people
corrupt.
have their wealth.
No, I love wealthy people. Lots of wealthy
You
friends.
want to read
Favorite friends could invite me on a boat.
write a new
But I
law
don't want.
so that you just
No, we're gonna go back to the same argument we had about Amazon.
yes.
He needs to pay his taxes. He paid 2% in taxes. It's not appropriate if I pay 35%. If you pay 40%. If someone else who makes $0 pays 10%. I mean, not zero, but under 20 grand, 30, you're still paying 10% of your taxes. Why would the head of Amazon pay 2%? That's what I'm saying. People are finding ways to avoid paying what the average person is paying.
The wealth is just the theoretical value of the stock he holds. It's not real wealth, because the price of the stock goes up and down. Amazon could face massive competition, and the value of the company could cut in
She's
half. And then
stupid.
he
She
could
really
have
doesn't
no-
understand
No,
basic
no,
economics.
stop. He accumulates. He turns
That's why
it
most
into
women
real
aren't in
dollars
finance.
when he sells the stock. So when he sells the stock, he pays taxes. And so in years he sold significant portions of Amazon stock, he paid massive taxes on it because then it's converting that asset to actual wealth. Just holding the theoretical value of the company isn't worth anything because the price of it could go down or it could go up. Should the government should he pay money for the theoretical valuation, and then if the price of it goes down, the government has to pay him back because it actually lost money? You would be in favor of that. So why would he have to pay any money until he sells the thing?
When billionaires don't pay their fair share of taxes,
But that's just
people get frustrated.
That's just
No, I'm telling you, we have to wrap. We have to go to commercial break, literally. But it's just literally
and
a
you
number
say that,
thing.
but that's not true.
$750 is not appropriate for somebody who made $1 billion. That's all. That's the bottom line for me. I'm talking about President Trump.
Okay, then you can reconfigure the tax code as California is doing to just say people of a certain amount of wealth have to just fork over a huge percent of their income, and they're all saying, okay, we're going to leave the state.
No, or people who don't make a certain amount also could pay 2%. That's
People
what I'm
who
saying.
don't make a certain amount don't pay anything.
No,
the
there's
top 50% pay no taxes.
That's a lie. That's a lie. They pay 10% in taxes. If you make 30 grand, you pay 10% in taxes. Look it up. I don't know.
The bottom 50%.
You know people in the poverty below the poverty
The bottom
line.
50%
What are you talking about? People below the poverty
more
line.
than, like 7% of the tax.
Right, but Amazon, Jeff Bezos paid 2%.
Middle
You see
class
what I'm
pays the
telling you?
most.
A billionaire paid 2%. You're saying they pay less than 7. Okay, so no taxes would be what Jeff Bezos is paying, not what the people who make 30,000 are paying.
People who make 30,000
Oh, no.
are paying almost no taxes.
Just like Jeff Bezos, so if it's around 2%. Then
He's not paying almost no taxes. When he sells his assets, he pays a huge amount of taxes, just like everyone else. That's where all of our tax revenue is generated from the wealthiest Americans. All of it. So you may not like we could squeeze them even harder if you want, but they're already paying all the taxes. There's no other group of people from which the tax money is coming. The wealthiest Americans are where all of our tax revenue comes from already.
All right, we're getting yelled at forever. I have so much more to say. Be sure to tune into the Hills YouTube streaming channels or website at 10 p.m. Eastern for our primary coverage with data nerds. Lots of exciting races to watch, including the LA mayoral race featuring Spencer Pratt.
What is the Maryland primary?
Stick around for more.
Look that.
We're putting our new Ultra Flex
Can't-
Plus
Well,
lidocaine
I can't even do the Maryland
to
primary
the
anyway because I'm an
It has
independent,
superior adhesion,
and Maryland
quality,
doesn't let
flexibility.
independents
You
participate in the
up
primaries.
to 8 hours. New BioFreeze Ultra Flex Plus.
Rare earth elements power modern life. America once led their production. Today, nearly all come from China. It doesn't have to be that way. Florida's phosphate, used to grow food, creates a byproduct called
June
phosphogypsum,
23rd.
stored for decades,
Okay.
rich in rare earth,
So in
and ready to meet America's
3
supply
weeks.
for decades. Learn more at phosphateinnovation.com.
I feel so lucky to have a partner like Matt. He keeps the house pristine, even when he's playing his favorite game, Royal Kingdom.
It's election day in California, and voters in Los Angeles are heading to the polls for the primary election to determine the city's next mayor.
Mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt has made homelessness one of the biggest focuses of his campaign. He's repeatedly slammed the policies from incumbent Mayor Karen Bass and proposed sweeping changes to tackle the city's homelessness problem.
Now on Bill Maher's podcast on Wednesday, Pratt surprised Maher by claiming that part of the reason it's become such a big problem in LA is because many homeless people have come from other parts of the country. Take a look.
60% of the people in Los Angeles that are experiencing homelessness, they're not from California. They've been brought here by NGOs that profit off of this homeless industrial complex, Medicaid.
Wait, they've been brought here?
They've been brought here.
Who did that?
Body brokers bring these people here
From where?
all across the country.
Pratt did not say where exactly he got that number of the 60% from. There have been other studies on the subject, including a recent report from the conservative writer Christopher Rufo, Kenneth Strupp. They said they interviewed more than 200 homeless people in LA and found that about 40% of them, yes, were in fact from a different state.
No. Random baseless statements from Spencer Pratt, who said he's talked to people.
There they did a study.
They walked around and asked 200 people. That's like, it sounds like, what's the show with Steve Harvey hosting? We asked 200 men. One of the best things that women should get for balance Family Feud. Like, no, that's not a real study because the producers of Family Feud asked 200 men
You
what
asked
they think.
homeless
No,
people.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that conservative organization conveniently asked 200 people on the street, and they all said, "Actually, I'm from Utah. Actually, I'm from Idaho. Let's cut it out." Okay, Spencer Pratt is making up numbers and just spitting out information that he thinks is going to help him win, and he actually needs to lay out a game plan.
Based on you have no idea.
No, I don't believe the organization. Just like you don't believe stuff, I don't believe that that's true. They walked around not supposed to believe.
I believe that it's true.
Okay, you don't believe New York Times articles sometimes, so that's okay. I don't believe this study is true.
I
They
don't-
walked around asking 200 men and women, and they said, "I'm all from different states." Whatever, fine. It's a conservative organization that has done
They
this
go there,
research
but it's
allegedly, and that's what they're saying.
They
And I don't
go there
believe.
Shut
because
up,
California has, again, these are drug addicted, mentally ill people. They gravitate toward where hard drugs are being sold. California is the ideal place, LA, for vagrant, drug addicted, homeless people because the weather's nice, there's a beach, and there's open air drug dealing going on. So, and the police aren't going to do anything about it. So that is where you would gravitate to. I don't know about being shipped in or brought. That makes it sound like someone is directing it. But no, it's not surprising at all that that is a magnet.
Spencer Pratt said that they're being brought there intentionally.
Yeah, I don't
By
know.
organizations. He's making
Right.
up baseless
So
claims.
that, I don't know that it's baseless. That part I cannot speak to, and so I don't know whether that's true or not.
I couldn't find any research to verify that.
I know that that is in fact the case because this is a draw for these kinds of people to be there.
You can't oversimplify what is a complex crisis. I know that it's a talking point for Spencer Pratt to try to say everybody's addicted to drugs. This is how he would solve it. Okay, homelessness is a complex issue and also has a lot to do with the housing availability. We understand that California is exaggerated in the same way New York has exaggerated circumstances because of how high the cost
There's
of living
housing
here.
availability
There's
for all of these people.
Okay, that's
Every
what,
single one.
that's what you're saying, but you have no studies that show that, or if you want to point to
I do.
them, point to them. No, there's nothing there. So I want the exact information. You do like Spencer Pratt saying, "Well, people told me," and then the study that interviewed people said
There's
this.
that for every.
I want to make sure. He said people are being brought there. Like, okay, people are really working hard on homelessness. I think the governor has brought down homelessness by 9%. He touted that recently, so he should work alongside Governor Newsom, Gavin Newsom, and say, "Hey, good job. You're doing a great job. Let's talk about fixing this together."
Housing's
Because
not the
homelessness
answer.
is a big. It's a complex, wide range of issues.
The
Yes,
first
there are people
part
addicted
is
to
the
drugs.
drug problem.
But yes, there are people who need housing and shelter. And so you can't just say there's just one answer because one answer hasn't worked in
Well, there are
Republican
people who
cities.
need housing and shelter. There is housing and shelter though.
Okay, and also other Republicans have suggested we're getting them off our streets. Where are they going? Shipping them somewhere else to solve homelessness.
That's why we
We
got.
might have got them off the street of D.C., but then now homeless people are in Virginia or homeless people are in Maryland. So what are we doing? I mean, have you seen them pushing them out to Maryland and D.C. when we tried to fix the problem here? It just doesn't.
Well, the
create a
idea would be
long-term
if you push them
solution.
out to Maryland, in Maryland they'll actually do something about it because there's not a tolerance for just mentally ill, crazy people in the streets. So
Okay, so
I'm
that's the
not
solution
against
that Spencer
that.
Pratt has is just pushing somewhere else.
no, his
Out of
solution.
LA.
No, that's not what he said. He has said it's drug rehabilitation programs, facilities that use that give them antipsychotic medication, anti-drug addiction medication.
So against their will, put them on drugs, different drugs, because you say so, because you say they're all
that
drug
counteract
addicts.
heroin and the things that they are languishing under that no human
And
being.
for the
wants
people who
to
just
live.
need housing that aren't on drugs, still
They have
inject them.
No, they can just go to house.
Okay, I don't know. I don't trust the Hills reality star to handle the complex crisis of homelessness, but that's just me.
Well, I don't trust Karen Bass, and we'll find out tonight
We
who's
will.
advancing in that runoff. That does it for us on Rising Live. Look out for more exclusive YouTube content coming your way later today, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Hills YouTube channel so you never miss any content. And also, for those of you who like to listen along on the go, we're available anywhere you listen to podcasts, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See ya.
This mouse backpack is the best I've ever used.
This is the most advanced fabric we've ever. If you want to heal a lot of what's wrong with this country, actually be kind to other human beings to make them feel like they have a place here.
This is one of the things, this is why the culture war is so important. Because so many of us that are right-leaning, it's not even right-leaning, so many of us that are just roughly sane people, we are constantly told we are racist and idiots and everything else, and that we should be kinder, right? So they'll put the January 6 people in jail and threaten them, they'll call us all racists, very fine people on both sides. Russia, they'll do all of the crazy stuff. Then we get a little annoyed, and then they tell us that we're the bad guys. This is a really interesting moment. This is a New York Times columnist. He used to be conservative. I don't know exactly what he is right now, David French, but New York Times, you can take it for what it's worth if he was a conservative, because he's at the New York Times, so it is what it is. But here he is pointing out that we need to be kind to each other, but now Bill Maher, who is becoming not only a sane voice, which he's always been, whether you agree with him or not, a sane voice, but he points out, well, this is not a one-side issue here, bucko.
We don't even have the trust of our own people. I know China thinks that we're in decline, partly because we don't like each other. There was a study that came out recently. This is of all 25 countries in the world they surveyed. We're the only ones where the people in the country think the other people in the country are. You know what the study I'm talking about?
And the people who lack that sense of belonging, what are some characteristics they share? Well, they're less committed to democracy, for example. They have less openness to being around people from different backgrounds. If you want to heal a lot of what's wrong with this country, actually be kind to other human beings to make them feel like they have a place here, and they're going to be less drawn to extremism. Believe it or not, I'm going to sound like a kindergarten teacher right now, Bill. I'm going to say, you want to know how to help heal our country? Make a friend. But specifically, try to make friends in the communities that don't feel like they belong in this country. And you're going to go a long way to get them.
Yeah, but that sounds like it's all happening on one side. It's happening on the other side, too. Yes, there are
everywhere.
There are people in ICE who make people who are in this country who have every right to be in this country not feel like they should be.
Absolutely.
And there's also people on the left who won't invite their own relatives to Thanksgiving.
It's
not a one-way thing.
Yeah, it's not a one-sided thing, and it's really important because as French made that point, they're less committed to democracy. Do you think the progressives are committed to democracy? They're trying to burn democracy down constantly and pack the courts and change the voting maps, and they don't like our founding in the first place, and they're not thrilled with the First Amendment, and they don't want your right to defend yourself and everything else. They're less open. And what he's saying is they're less open. I mean, he's talking about people on the right. Have you ever been around a bunch of progressives and tried to argue with them, or tried to have a decent conversation with them? Everyone thinks for just a second, in your own family, when you talk to someone who's a progressive, and you're trying to just explain something decently, do they seem open to you? Do they seem open? I don't think so. And also, be kind. The implication is that people on the right are not kind. How many progressives really are kind? What is it that I always say about the progressives? You scratch a progressive, and you get something really nasty underneath, meaning they tell you how tolerant and diverse and lovely and wonderful and open and but all of these things are so great. And if you say anything, I don't know, then you see what happens. You see what happens.
On June 11th, the Rubin Report will be live at the Fillmore Miami Beach with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Ben Shapiro, Adam Carolla, Jillian Michaels, and little old me. Seats are limited and going fast, so if you've been watching the show and want to experience it live, scan the QR code right over here and grab your tickets. I'll see you there.
From Steven Spielberg, I can see them. They're coming.
Oh, here.
My God.
This is Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Tickets, you can get tickets now.
People on Depop really watch your style.
So, when we need them to allow us to use their military bases, their answer is no, then why are we in NATO? You have to ask that question.
This is something that we can't. Yesterday, or the day before, I released a video called Poetic Flacco, Never Expected Tariq Could Be This Brutal. If you guys want to watch that video about what went on between the two of them, I suggest you go and check it out, go and watch it, and get into its entirety. Now, I want to also address this elephant in the room. O'Shea, why don't you ever criticize Tariq? You're afraid of Tariq. You scared that he gonna roast you. Now, let me just talk about this for a second. Number one, I have been doxxed here. I have been roasted here. I have been exposed here. And this is no disrespect to Tariq. Yeah, you know, it would be a good banner from his side for sure and it would be hilariously funny, I'm pretty sure. But that is not the reason why I stopped making content about him that was unfavorable toward him. I got a phone call from my good brother. You guys know him as Street Media TV. I always praise him. With kind of where I am right now, with a lot of the pro-black mentality, I've always sort of been pro-black to a certain degree. That's why I was like in the black manosphere. I've always been in black things. I was always from Africa. But he took me to a new level. And he told me something that was important. He said, stop making videos about your machine. I said, why? He said, because the brother got the ball rolling and the conversation rolling farther than anybody in black America right now. There's nobody doing exactly what he's doing. So you need to get behind him and stay on code. If you disagree with anybody else, they're YouTubers. Truthfully, she is not necessarily a YouTuber. So those disagreements don't need to come out. If you love our community, you need to stay down. You need to get in pocket. And you know what I did? I agree with what he was saying. I took some of my personal criticisms and put them in the back pocket because I am Black American. Because I am #FBA. Because of that. That's a known fact for y'all who don't know that. Oh, you scared? I ain't scared of none of you. I ain't scared of none of y'all. Nobody in this earth am I scared of. I done moved to Africa, moving around at night, lived in different countries, been in unfavorable situations all my life. Hey, there's nobody I'm afraid of. Not y'all, not nobody. I'm 45 years old. Ain't scared of nothing for the most part. That's the number one thing. Most of y'all couldn't have survived 7 or 6 years out here, let alone a week. So let's get that straight. But the reason why I have stayed on code with the brothers out there that are formulating certain frameworks is because of my love for my people and for my community. And I believe that what he has done in the grassroots, nobody else could do it for our community. And you can have any criticism of him, but for that, he needs to get his just due. He needs to get his flowers. He's doing more than me on that grassroots. He's doing more than anybody else. If somebody who's getting the message out there like that, shut up and support him. That's what I've done for the last 3 years. When he got a project, I donate to it. There's even one, the History Museum. I made a video about it. That's why. Okay? So for those of y'all who got a problem, I'm doing what? Staying on code, in my opinion. Until I see otherwise, I'm staying on code. Next thing. Let's go to the Poetic Flacco in the Tariq Nasheed issue. Now, I've talked to Brother Poetic Flacco. I've seen his rise. He is a way better YouTuber than me. I love what he's able to do. Again, he's always showed me nothing but respect. He's always been a person throughout my career that's been encouraging. If I've given him some tips, he's always thanked me for it. So yeah, I've never had a problem with him. I've never spoken to Tariq Nasheed. But I saw some comments that I thought were necessary for this video, and I want to talk about this. These two in particular. Brother Kerwin says, black people hate each other. The people who hate black people are laughing at you all. Then Brother Tyrone, this FBA stuff is so stupid. We all black, and if you don't think so, give it a minute, they'll remind you. Okay, so shout out to Brother Tyrone, Reed 259, and I want to give a shout out to Brother Kerwin, Maximus. Now, this whole idea that the beef between Poetic Flacco and Tariq Nasheed, this is stupid because the other group hates us. I've heard Poetic Flacco say something very similar. We ought to be trying to work together against this other force out there who's looking at us like we're stupid. When you listen to what he's saying, it sounds truthful, in my honest opinion. Poetic Flacco is not lying when he's saying when he mentions that. He's being honest. However, after I've lived in Africa, after living in Europe, dealing with blacks, and then obviously living in Black America, there's more nuance to the discussion. And the reason why we have an issue with Poetic Flacco, or Flacco, and Brother Tariq Nasheed is, number one, the different groups have no real value to each other. That's number one. There is no real value with blacks and Africans. There's no real value between blacks and Africans. Now, somebody says, well, O'Shea, why are you in Africa? It's a good point, okay? That's something that I've been trying to change. I've just recently understood that, maybe about a year or two ago, that there's no real value being exchanged. If you're one group and you don't give any value to the other group, but you want to say let's unite against the oppressor. It doesn't really mean much. Okay? That's just the reality. That's the reality. You can say that black people hate each other, and that can be true all day. But the reality is, Poetic Flacco and Tariq Nasheed represent the real issue between blacks. They have no use for each other. That's why you got delineation. If flat blackness works, if we are blacks work, if all of that works, then we would see, without talking about this, Nigerian Americans and Black Americans working together. We would see more of the Haitians and Black Americans working together. We would see Ghanaian Americans and Nigerians working together. We would see Liberians and South Africans working together. But we don't see any of that unless it's for immigrant protests, unless it's for Africa Day, unless it's for Nigerian Independence Day, or Liberian Independence Day, or Ghanaian Independence Day, or every now and then you have a Pan-African Museum Day, and then everybody goes home because the groups have no real liking to each other. That's what I believe. The Ethiopians, Eritreans, Somalis all have their own unique communities. So if it's going to be like that, then those people should not also benefit from the institutions that Black Americans have established. But that's not what happens. Liberians, Nigerians, Ghanaians all benefit off of institutions that Black Americans established. And they do not, for the most part, contribute to any development of what Black Americans have. It's more or less Black Americans have already kind of cut through a lot of institutional racism, which they never were involved in that. They were not in slavery. So when they benefit off of it, there's nothing for them to get back to because they've never been through the experience. So Poetic Flacco and Tariq Nasheed, they could never understand each other, to be honest. And because Poetic Flacco is going to look at it, or Flacco rather, that why y'all hate no Africans? Why y'all want to shut down African businesses? Oh, they just trying to make some money. Whereas somebody like, that's a real FBA is like, well, wait a minute, man. Like, why you not building back up your people? Why you didn't go back to where you was from? Why you not developing your own community? I'm not saying these, I'm just giving these examples. And then you speaking on our issues. But what about your country? Didn't y'all have civil wars? I mean, these are the conversations that come out, and then people start getting animosity. And then you got Africans who are critical, which is their right. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But then when you come into the country under those circumstances, and then they don't see you giving back, like when you have benefited from the Black community structure, like for example, I live in Uganda. There is no way I can live in Uganda. With whatever Ugandans have established, I come in and I benefit from it. And again, I know that Black America is not a country. That's apples and oranges. But the overall idea is this. If I'm in Uganda, I have to give back to Uganda. Okay? If Africans, Caribbeans benefit any way from Black America, if there's a level of reciprocity there, but you got negative opinions of that, then you're going to talk about let's all come together and work together. We're not all coming together. It's the truth. Look at what happened with the Somalis. The Somalis only come to the Black community when their community is under pressure. Now you want to unite. The rest of the Black groups are the same. I see it. But Africans want value all the time. When you deal with them, Caribbeans want value all the time. When you deal with them, ain't no open door, you my brother, let me help you out. No, that's what Black Americans typically do. In comparison to them, I'm not here saying that it doesn't happen. So when you have people who think like that, you cannot work with them. You cannot be their friend because their agendas are different. And that's what I hope I can change before I leave this world. But right now, that's where it's at. So y'all need to stop conflating the issue. Well, Black people hate each other. We need to unite against the oppressor. Them people ain't uniting to do nothing. First of all, I'm talking about continental Africans are first-generation immigrants. They don't even work together. They rarely help each other. Don't you know I'm in Africa? Don't you know that? Despite how good they do academically, oh, it's all the time. Oh, African immigrants in Dubai. They won't help you. Don't talk to Ugandans in Dubai. See, I'm on the ground. Go to Qatar. They ain't gonna help you. I lived in Poland, remember? I saw African divisions everywhere. Nobody knows Blacks, continental and Black Americans like me. None of y'all do. None of y'all have this experience. So I have an insight to what I see on the ground in Kenya, in South Africa, in Nigeria. I know them. I work with them. If you even remove us off the conversation, they can't work together. They have a problem with each other.
And I didn't really see it at first. But when Tariq was talking about certain levels of delineation, I kind of tried to build on that in my mind. Well, maybe we need delineation to force value to each other. Because I'm going to tell you, Africans respect leverage. That's what it is. And whenever I hear the conversation of we ought to work together, whether it's from Black Americans or from Nigerians or from anybody else, I kind of look at that person, well, maybe they're avoiding accountability, which is what a lot of Blacks do. So when you say, see, you just hate each other, you ignore what the white man, no, I think you're ignoring what the Black Americans are talking about, or what the South Africans are talking about, or in even case, the Nigerians are talking about. Because everybody got their points. Black Americans are definitely not perfect. And when we say, oh, see, the white man laughing at us, that's a general statement to say you don't want to listen to what the person is talking about. And if these groups want to work with Black Americans, y'all want to stop delineation, you got to bring value or somebody will call you a tether. It's the truth. If I live in Nigeria or amongst Nigerian Americans and I don't bring value to them, for whatever reason, I'm going to be called a slur. If people see that all you do is get and you don't give nothing to their community, people are going to have the right to talk about you and call you a user. That's what they're going to say. And Africans don't like that. But that's the truth. When somebody looks at you as a user or a grifter and that's all you do, your group just takes, but never gives. Well, nobody likes anybody like that. I'm sorry, they don't. Africans don't like nobody like that. I know I'm ranting, but I'm just telling the truth. And Poetic Flacco, not talking about him personally, but I think the mentality of Africans, which he's trying to defend, for the most part, that's how Black Americans see them. To a certain degree, in my experience, that's how I see them. Not all of them, but I see that in general. And to be honest, not even that, Africans see each other in the same way for the most part that I'm talking about. You want to know who talk bad about Africans the most? Other Africans. I used to have to tell brothers and sisters out in Poland, please stop talking about your people like that. I've had to get out on my Kingana channel and check Kenyan women in Uganda. Stop talking about your men in that way so the world can see that. Stop that as I mature. And if you're not bringing any value as to why somebody is dealing with you and you're not from their group and they see you as a take, you're going to be called names. Everybody will call you names. People won't know what to do with it. And then we can look at how people look at Africans in other places where they go. Look what's going on in South Africa. I'm sorry, but you don't hear them complain about Black Americans, do you? No, you don't. How many Black Americans getting kicked out of Dubai? How many Black Americans getting kicked out of Qatar? Number one, because they don't have to get kicked out. We could even do percentage-wise if you want the numbers. On average, how many times have I seen Nigerians getting kicked out? Not welcome. Ghanaians, scamming. Liberians, kicked out. I mean, this is a consistent issue that happens around the Black world. And what that means is, when you hear the Black Americans talking about delineation, and then you hear South Africans talking about delineation, then why are those two groups saying that? And then what happens is I think that people just want to just not talk about those things. And I'm telling you that, not because I know Tariq, because I actually know Poetic Flacco more than Tariq. This is what I've seen. And I love everybody. This is something that I've seen. And as Blacks, we got to be valuable to each other. Otherwise, we're going to have these issues.
Free Dot says, how are things in Baltimore these days? Have things gotten better?
It's getting worse.
Compared to what from 2 days ago?
Then the kids of our kids are going to hate each other even more. Because this was a problem going on.
Dot actually says hi.
The African students were coming out right after independence. The Nigerian currency was on par with the dollar. I've heard many folks say Nigerian students, some of them were pulling up in court vesta class. The Liberian students were coming to University of Michigan, going to UCLA and going right back to Liberia. And this whole level of not giving value was already established then in the 60s. My mom went to UC Davis in 1968, one of the first Blacks to get full scholarship in 68. And she was talking about this. So stop acting like this is a new thing. It's not a new thing. I rejected all that. No, that's nonsense. What Tariq is saying is nonsense. And I live here. I'm like, oh no, he never lived here, but how does he know all this stuff? Because he's right. He's right. And I'm one of the few people that live on the African continent that will actually admit this, that he is right about a lot of the stuff that goes on. There are certain things that he does that he shouldn't do, like anybody else. But the core message about Black Americans and Africans and who's not getting value, who is, he's 100% right. He's 100% right. 1,000% right. And I dare anybody to prove me that he's not right, that he's lying. He ain't lying about nothing. He's right. He's 1,000% right. And if Africans don't like it, then do something to fix it. Because he's not wrong. I've seen it. I've lived it. I live in Africa. Now, a lot of the Africans, man in America, you don't live here. I live here. I pay salaries to Africans. You don't. For those of y'all who got a problem with it. I train you. You don't. You got a problem with it. So if you got a problem with it, come over here and help me with making things better with the people. Or do you want to stay in America where you get your salaries because you don't want to deal with it? We know why y'all don't want to come back. You Africans that got a problem with me, you don't want to deal with this shit because you're too good in America, wherever the hell you at. Because you know what will happen to you over here. You ain't got time for your people. But want to sit back and act pro-African. You ain't got time for your community at all. Most of y'all got a problem. You come back once a year if that's for Christmas, and then that's it. So shut up talking about me. I know it's a rant. I'm sorry. It's long, but it's real. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. I don't have to tell you. Peace.
Damn, son.
eBay online shopping and selling.
Heard that shit.
Get it today.
Ding dong, it's realtor.com time.
Honey, Mortgage 26 says we should keep renting.
Mortgage 26?
Rita says more realtor agents recommend realtor.com. They track every market so you know when to make your move.
He also says that Bigfoot got it.
Let's get real with realtor.com.
Well, your boy James Clyburn thought he was safe in South Carolina. He believed them good white folks that they were going to leave his district alone. Well, they changed course. And now they came with a special session, and now their plan is to get rid of Clyburn's district. Clyburn is potentially facing not even having a district and not being in Congress anymore. Let's go ahead and check out what Clyburn has to say about that.
Congressman, Governor McMaster was asked why he changed course on redistricting. He said he supports redrawing the lines to help create a, quote, functioning Congress that can pass laws without a 1 or 2 vote margin. Your response to the governor?
Well, I was disappointed in that. I was led, like everybody else, was led to believe that the governor would respect what the Supreme Court did 2 years ago, because they looked at this district and declared that the district was, in fact, constitutional, that it had been legally drawn, and it adhered to
Man, fuck Clyburn.
And the governor indicated that throughout this whole process. And so when the Senate decided that it would not make redistricting a part of its signed resolution, I, like everybody else, well, maybe not everybody, but most other people thought that the governor would adhere to that. But within 24 hours, he changed his tune, and I guess we all have the right to change our minds. Disappointed, but not surprised.
Now that's real food for just $10. Only at Royal Farms.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988.
But ladies and gentlemen, it may not be no more fish fries out there in South Carolina with Clyburn, because the Republicans are about to get him up out that seat. Now, Clyburn been in that seat, well, as you say, in the early 90s. What has he really done for black folks in South Carolina? Because he really did a lot for black folks in South Carolina. They'd be raising hell, they'd be protesting, they'd be doing everything out there to hopefully fight for him. But he haven't done nothing. See, these Congressional Black Caucus members, for a long time, have been occupying seats, but haven't used those seats as a seat of power to benefit Black America. Now, do you see, it's a lot of Congressional Black Caucus members
who is possibly not going to be in Congress next year. Do you see an overwhelming majority of Black America going out, protesting, fighting for them? Do you really see that? You see it in small pockets, but you don't see it being massive. Why? Because, see, let me tell you something, Congressional Black Caucus. The reason why Black America isn't coming out in mass for you is because you have been Team Democrat and not Team Black. Let me repeat that again. You've been Team Democrat, not Team Black. You wanted to listen to the Democrat Party and not listen to Black people that's in your community. You come to us for votes to get you in. You tell us about Black representation. You tell us, oh, you went to the HBCU. Oh, you in a fraternity or sorority. All these different accolades that you say why you should be representing Black people in Congress. But you have not brought no tangibles. Crazy as Trump is, he brings tangibles to his base. That's why they still listen to him. That's why they ride for him. Even though he's tanking the country, but they still gonna ride for him because they say, hey, well, at least he brings a tangible. And that's what Trump does. He brings tangibles to his people. You Congressional Black Caucus members have had years. Clyburn has had years. Clyburn been in Congress longer than people have been alive. Okay? And he has consistently brought tangibles every year he went to Congress. Every 2 years the election. Trust me, it'd be different for him. If he was one of the riders, I'll be defending Clyburn. And I know many others will be defending Clyburn. See Black politicians, Black representation. You also need to see the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party not coming to save any of you. And you serve them. You push the LGBT agenda. You push the immigration agenda. You pushed it all. And you never pushed the Black agenda. And now you need Black people to come out there and ride with you, and now we won't because you never put us first. If you'd have put us first, then we would ride. But this is a lesson to you Black politicians. If you get into office, prioritize Black people. Let me tell you something. You were in districts where you were safe because there was nothing but Black folk. So that meant all you had to do was do right by Black people. A lot of you were in districts that wasn't diverse. Some of you in districts, you had 80, 90% Black people in them. And you still didn't prioritize FBA. So y'all losing these seats, nobody tripping on it. Nobody tripping. And realistically, they being petty taking Clyburn's seat, because that's the only seat Black folks had. And they making sure to take that away. No, I'm pretty sure the governor at first didn't want to do it, but he got that call from Trump. That's what that was about. And I'll tell you what that's about. Trump, everybody Trump say, hey, I endorse this person, vote for him, they get in. That governor and that state government like, yeah, I don't want to cross Trump. I don't want that problem. So let me go ahead on and do what he say. That's what that was about. I'm telling you that's what it's about. I think the governor didn't want to do it. But he's like, no, let me go ahead on and do what Trump say, because I want to stay in office, or if I run for something in the future, I don't want Trump on my head. That's exactly what that's about. Trump controlled that Republican Party, literally. He get people out, he get people in. That's the way that works. So Clyburn, like I said, I don't know. I mean, you just have one more fish fry for have one more fish fry, I guess. And hey, Lord, Clyburn, I guess you had a good run. I mean, shoot, man, you had to retire someday. So look at it like this, Clyburn. God works in mysterious ways. Maybe God's allowing that to happen to you so you can retire, so you can go enjoy your family, so you can go do other things, travel, go fishing every morning. Don't even worry about politics anymore. Enjoy all that good money you got from Congress, sir. It's time for you to retire, and I think this is a blessing to you, actually. That they do this now. It'll be a blessing to you, I believe. Clyburn, you're 80 plus years old, brother. It's time to go enjoy your grandkids. Enjoy life. Go to Vegas, go party. I don't know, do something. But it's time for you to step aside and just enjoy your life and you just be in Congress, do no more, and that's it. And listen, you out of Congress, I wouldn't even worry about interviews. I wouldn't worry about anything no more. I wouldn't even care. Like, man, I'm out. I did my time. It is what it is. Listen, all things come to an end, Clyburn. And it's the thing, Clyburn. I think it's sad when some of y'all are literally passing away in those seats. That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense at all. Like the crazy part is Sheila Jackson Lee, for instance. She was trying to run for mayor of Houston. She lost that, and she was still trying to go back and run for Congress again, even though Sheila Jackson Lee, had cancer at the time, and she still was trying to get back in that seat. I'm like, if anybody needs to chill out, it would have been her at the time. But it's like they get these seats and they wanna lose, pass away in them. Like, man, it's a time. Listen, even with me, it's gonna come a time like, hey, y'all, I'm done. And I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I want to just chill out, have a beachfront property or something. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. Not worry about no politics, not worry about nothing. I'm not saying I wouldn't do other things, but it's a time I'm gonna eventually walk away from political commentary. Eventually, not now, but eventually. Because it's just, hey, I may just focus more on music, or if I do any kind of politics, it'll be LaSherick and them can do it. You know what I'm saying? Eventually that day may happen. Not to say I wouldn't keep all my other stuff going, but it just wouldn't be me doing it. That's all. That'd be somebody else. So everybody got their day. I mean, like, shoot, Jordan couldn't play forever. Kobe couldn't play forever. I mean, pick any sports person. Hey, everybody got to retire out the game. So, Clyburn, I guess, for you, I guess you had a good run. I'd say you had a good run for the community. But it is what it is. But the other black people is in the Congressional Black Caucus in the North. So they safe. They straight Democrat states. Now, Clyburn, I guess, I mean, if you really want to go run for Congress that bad, I guess you can move to a Democrat state. I guess that'll be the only thing for all you Congressional Black Caucus members who really want to get in Congress so bad. I think that'd be your only option, I guess, is just to move. I mean, they got a lot of Democrat states in the country, so maybe you could do that. We don't know, but yes, Clyburn, we don't. I think retirement would be great for you, brother. I think because I know it's time, and let some younger people get in there. Let some younger people fight. It's time. You done enough. You know what I'm saying? You will still want to have your fish fry every year. You can continue doing that if you want. Why not? Do it. A community event, if you would like. The Republicans are getting Clyburn out the paint. He thought he was safe. Boy, I tell you.
Oh, no.
Why do you hate your phone so much?
When you need service, that's always a step ahead.
Thought you might need this.
How did you know?
It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Leave all your phone.
No.
Chinese kung fu.
What if I told you a street legal, less lethal launcher, clocking in at just $120, drops a perp harder than your .380 pocket pistol from 50 yards out? Yeah, and the big self-defense chains are bearing the... What if I told you a street legal, less lethal launcher, clocking in at just $120, drops a perp harder than your .380 pocket pistol from 50 yards out? Yeah, and the big self-defense chains are bearing this from you because they can't upsell their overpriced holsters on it. Today, I'm unleashing 5 underrated less lethals that hit with more stopping power than your centerfire carry gun. Smash that subscribe and bell right now because the game-changing gear I'm exposing could bulletproof your EDC without the felony risk. This impressive carbine conversion kit opens up new possibilities for the T4E TR50 models. The revolver that's fitted into it gains the superior ergonomic features of compact rifle systems and is compatible with their accessories. The carabine features a foldable buttstock that gives them improved precision and operating safety. The rugged polymer construction has numerous mounting points and rails for accessories. A long Picatinny top rail permits mounting of optical systems, and additional M-LOK slots ensure compatibility with standard accessories like bipods, lasers, and weapon lights. There are 3 quick-detach interfaces for straps and other equipment. The threaded muzzle lets you mount the T4E X Tracer 50, a trick opens up new possibilities.
Yeah, I'm about to look these up on Amazon. Yay. Fuck, I just want to take my glasses off.
For the T4. Or ETR50 models. The revolver that's fitted into it gains the superior ergonomic features of compact rifle systems and is compatible with their accessories. The carabine features a foldable buttstock that gives them improved precision and operating safety. The rugged polymer construction has numerous mounting points and rails for accessories. A long Picatinny top rail permits mounting of optical systems, and additional M-LOK slots ensure compatibility with standard accessories like bipods, lasers, and weapon lights. There are 3 quick-detach interfaces for straps and other equipment. The threaded muzzle lets you mount the T4E X Tracer 50, a tracer unit with a UV module and digital flash simulation. What really stands out is how the longer barrel transforms performance. With the increased barrel length, you get a noticeably flatter trajectory and tighter grooves. If you're upgrading from a pistol for more serious training sessions or want a more usable platform for scenario work, the conversion kit is a solid improvement. It keeps the TR50's simplicity while adding the power and precision advantages that come from a longer barrel and a stabilized carbine layout. The Genesis Arms Gen 12 less lethal shotgun is a top-tier choice for those seeking reliable performance in less lethal situations. The Gen 12 LL shines in its ability to deliver consistent performance with beanbag less lethal munitions, while optimized for beanbag rounds. It also offers versatility with other 12-gauge less lethal munitions, albeit requiring manual action cycling in some cases. Crafted from 6061 aluminum, the shotgun's both lightweight and rugged, ready to handle whatever you throw its way. And with a 6-position adjustable stock, you can easily tailor the fit to suit your preferences. The free-float handguard with M-LOK rail and full-length Picatinny top rail provide ample space for accessories and optics, allowing you to customize your setup for optimal performance. The layout's intuitive, making it easy to operate under pressure, plus the high-vis orange color isn't just for show, it enhances visibility in high-stress situations, ensuring you can quickly locate your firearm when every second counts. In the box, you'll find everything you need to get started, including a 5-round magazine and a soft case for convenient transport. Plus, with a limited warranty backing you up, you can rest easy knowing your investment is protected. Inspired by the famous M4 carbine, the CO2-powered rifle was formerly exclusive to law enforcement and now re-engineered for civilian use. It uses a large CO2 canister to launch 68 caliber hard plastic projectiles or pepper powder-filled projectiles over 100 feet at 325 feet per second. This makes it easy and effective to disable would-be attackers from a distance. Plus, it has a familiar design with an AR-15 style M-lock shroud that's easy to customize the way you want with its standard 4 Picatinny rails. It also includes a vertical foregrip, integrated sling mounts, and flip-up front and rear sights that make aiming accurately a breeze. On top of that, the push safety button and firing switch are both ambidextrous. It has an ASA valve that allows you to store the rifle with the pressurized CO2 cartridge so that you can have it available at any time. The Mission 4 comes with 2 19-round magazines that can be coupled so that when one is spent, you can quickly switch to the other for quick reloading, making it the ultimate less lethal solution to defend your property. Next up is the evolution of less lethal pump-action shotguns. With its imposing looks and impressive sound when charging, the Umarex T4E HDX means business. The rugged full metal receiver and massive muzzle brake bring the weight of the home defense extreme up to more than 3 kilograms for additional sturdiness. A full-length top Picatinny rail is perfect for mounting optics or accessories, and the 4-slot under-mounted Picatinny rail is ideal for mounting a light or laser. The T4E HDX has a built-in tubular magazine with a capacity of as many as 16 bullets. There's a high-powered 40-joule version that relies on an 88-gram CO2 capsule to provide the power force for these 16 round balls in the tube magazine. Optionally, a version with 2 individual 12-gram CO2 capsules is available. Thanks to its quick-piercing system, the rifle can be kept for months in standby mode. A light glow on the back of the stock is sufficient to pierce the 2-gram CO2 cartridges, and the optical and tactile pressure indicator will show that you're ready to fire up to 42 shots. The large ammunition supply and the ability to quickly reload means that the shotgun not only has a high rate of fire, but also provides adequate firepower to stop an attacker. This easy-to-use 68 caliber launcher allows you to protect yourself and your loved ones from a safe distance with an effective range of up to 60 feet and up to 350 feet per second velocity. In the event of an encounter, the launcher delivers a powerful deterrent designed to cause discomfort and incapacitation, allowing you valuable time to escape the situation. Designed for better aim and increased accuracy, the rubber grip helps you keep better control on your launcher. Saber Pepper launcher has no recoil, and the lightweight design makes it easier to use and handle. It features front and rear adjustable fiber optic sights for better aiming visibility in low light conditions. The rear grip safety will make sure it only fires when you want it to. This package includes the home defense projectile launcher, 7 red pepper powder projectiles, 7 inert practice projectiles, 1 practice target, 2 12-gram CO2 cartridges, and a padded soft carry case. The Byrna TCR is an extremely intuitive point-and-shoot launcher that can accurately engage targets at over 75 feet, capable of shooting 17 rounds at speeds in rapid succession at speeds in excess of 300 feet per second. The TCR gives homeowners significantly more stopping power than other handheld launchers. The TCR comes equipped with both a 12-round and 7-round magazine, which allows users the option to utilize either configuration. Additional features of the Byrna TCR include flip-up sights for superior target acquisition, trigger-enabled CO2 activation, and buttstock for stabilization. The Byrna TCR Pro Bundle will retail for $749 and be marketed to both consumer and law enforcement.
I listed this on eBay in like 2 seconds and got a really good price.
Find what you love, sell what you don't.
Guys, think this can't help with training? You're wrong. Factor closed the recovery gap in my routine. I track everything. HRV, sleep school.
This awesome device allows you to shoot a special combination of hot pepper from far away. The spicy mixture has the power to stop any kind of danger, and the tool itself is small and light, weighing only about 1.5 ounces. The Pepper Ball Blast earned its name from its ability to deploy itself in a single use, although it can be reloaded and reused with another power supply. The power comes from a small 8-gram nitrogen cartridge, allowing you to deliver a powerful burst of live X-Pava powder at 2,600 feet per second downrange. The one-handed operation of the blast is a game changer, allowing you to maintain a free hand for defense while simultaneously deploying a payload equal to 3 times projectiles worth of power, effective for up to a 15-foot distance, making it ideal for handling nearby threats. Additionally, a training variant uses harmless powder, enabling safe practice and instruction. Built with firearm-grade components, this compact rifle delivers 55 joules of power, more than enough to stop threats and deter anyone who dares to invade your space. Out of the gate with the standard 7-inch barrel, you're hitting 55 joules of muzzle energy, which is no joke for less lethal. I chronographed it at around 400 FPS with standard 68 caliber training rounds. That's enough to drop a threat at close range or deter from afar. And it feels way more authoritative than other less lethal guns. Want more power? Swap in the optional 9-inch barrel and you're pushing up to 70 joules for some serious stopping force. At just 19 inches overall length and a featherweight 4 pounds, it's compact enough to stash in a closet or under the bed without feeling like you're lugging a full AR. The standard M17 SMG style mag holds 8 + 1 rounds, but if you want to stay in the game longer, the optional 25-round ADN drum has you covered. With a fresh 9 CI tank, you're getting a solid 39 shots at full power before the velocity starts to dip. That's better than most CO2-powered competitors by a good 20 to 30%. Refilling is easy with a standard adapter, but fair warning, tanks aren't cheap, so keep a few on hand. The Grimbird TYR. It's loaded with practical features, a Magpul sling mount, a Magpul MOE K2 Grip XL with textured rubber for a solid grip even with gloves, a Magpul hand stop for better control, and a UTG Pro 5-inch R1 handguard with Picatinny rails to add a light, laser, or whatever else you need. For protecting your space or training for serious scenarios, the TYR keeps you in control without crossing into lethal territory. It's straightforward, dependable, and built to back you up. This double-barrel PCP air gun is insane. At first glance, it looks like something between a sawed-off shotgun and a futuristic hand cannon, and that impression isn't far from the truth. This pistol's built for slugs, but in the 72 version, it can also fire 12-gauge birdshot loads, making it extremely versatile. The air gun weighs in at around 3 pounds, which makes it surprisingly light for the kind of power it delivers, and it comes in 2 main barrel configurations, a short version of about 4 inches and a longer version stretching to roughly 11 inches. The AEA Harpoon is a compact pistol, but when you pull the trigger, it delivers the kind of punch you'd expect from a big-bore air rifle. With a short 4-inch barrel, it pushes 50 caliber slugs at around 600 to 650 feet per second, delivering up to 110 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Step up to the 11-inch barrels, and you're looking at 700 to 750 FPS and a jaw-dropping 150 foot-pounds of energy. When you fire both barrels at once, the combined impact feels like you're unloading a small cannon. You can load the same cartridge with different projectiles, or use specific barrels for specific calibers, like 45, 50, 58, and 72. The pistol is powered by 2 small but high-pressure cartridges, each holding about 11 cubic centimeters of air and capable of being filled up to 5,000 psi. That's a lot of pressure in a small package. Each barrel has its own cartridge, which means you get 2 shots before you need to swap or refill. The need for a 5,000 psi fill source means you'll need the right equipment to keep it running, which not every air gunner has on hand. For enthusiasts who crave something bold and unconventional, the AEA Harpoon is an absolute blast to shoot. At around $439, it's not cheap, but for what it delivers, it's a steal in the big bore PCP world. Following requests from law enforcement, FN got to work improving ergonomics and adaptability of its 303 less lethal system. The FN 303 Tactical Less Lethal Launcher is the result of those requests. With the ability to customize the buttstock, grip, and sighting systems, you can now have a specialized launcher. To begin with, the included FN SCAR stock allows full adjustment of cheek rise, length of pull, and foldability. The 303 Tactical Less Lethal Launcher comes with a mil-spec A2 style pistol grip. The continuous Picatinny rail carries the fully adjustable polymer sights with 60 MOA of compensation. However, the rail also accepts various other sights and lights for those who prefer advanced optics. A shorter tank and compact 7.6-inch barrel establish a better balance point, As a result, the 303 has faster handling, sighting, and reduced fatigue. Upgrades to the air operating system not only help improve handling, but also cut maintenance time in half. The 303 Tactical can now fire 5,000 projectiles before the first round of maintenance is necessary. Moreover, the semi-automatic nature of the FN-303, combined with a 15-round drum magazine, provides an important advantage over single-shot or manually operated launchers. Statistics gathered from law enforcement incidents deploying less lethal devices indicate that often multiple strikes are necessary to stop a threat. With the development of the less lethal Umarex T4E TC68 carbine, you can effectively neutralize threats without using firearms. Inspired by the AR-15 rifle design for easy familiarization and featuring an 11.8-inch barrel, the T4E T68 home defense carbine propels 68 caliber core pepper ball defense rounds and is powered by a single 88-gram CO2 canister or two commercial 12-gram coupled capsules with a quick pierce adapter. The 20 rounds detachable magazines can be coupled for quick reloading. Alternatively, each TC68 carbine comes factory issued with a mock-up magazine and a top-mounted adapter for a hopper. A single CO2 canister will offer enough propulsion power for up to 200 rounds. The TC68 carbine is available in a semi-automatic version with a 7.5 joules muzzle energy coefficient and in two select fire variants with a 16 joules or 40 joules muzzle energy coefficient. For every homeowner seeking a reliable non-lethal option, the TC68 carbine delivers serious stopping power without crossing the lethal threshold.
Tumble and save on insurance at Liberty Liberty.
Bundle.
Why am I tumbling?
No idea.
Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands of hotels and earn rewards on every stay. When we
do not expect us to be
So you got stories. I feel extremely worried when I'm drinking tap water. Just knowing what's in there, tap water has. How do you disarm somebody who puts a gun to the side of your head? I'm a former CIA officer. I've been very blessed to get some amazing training and all this type of stuff. And in the past, I've shown you a gun disarm if somebody's pointing at your chest. I've shown you a gun disarm when you're getting in your car and somebody's pointing a gun in your back. But what happens if they have a gun pointed to the side of your head? This was a question I got from several viewers, so I'm going to answer it today. So I'm going to have a good friend of mine come up here. He's going to be the criminal today. He's going to point the gun at the side of my head. Okay, so guns at the side of my head. It doesn't have to be touching. Even if they're here, it doesn't matter. Or even if they're back, like he is an inch or two or whatever, nothing changes, okay? So, first most important thing to remember is we want to get out of that line of the bullet. Right now, again, I'm just going to show you, the gun's touching my head, I'm in the line of the bullet, so not good. Well, the good news is, how do I get out of the line of the bullet? All I got to do is step real quick. And remember, I can move faster than he can pull that trigger. Assuming
No, you can't.
He's not going to come up and immediately murder you because you'd already be dead. But if he's got a gun to your head and he's saying, hey, get in the car, or take me to your house where I know there's a safe, or hey, get in your car and let's drive around to the ATM machines, well, then I can react quicker than he is because he thinks I'm going to get in the car where he can empty my bank account and then murder me later after he gets what he wants. So step one, get offline. But at the same time, we're getting offline with, and this just because he's pointed this way, with my left hand, I'm pivoting, I'm grabbing that barrel, just like this. I've got this barrel. If he pulls the trigger, one round is going up high, because you can see I moved it up high in case anybody else is there. My right hand is grabbing the back of the gun, and all I'm doing is muzzle is pointing this way. I grab the back, and I rotate it towards him. It will break his grip. Okay, I can take the strongest man in the world and do this, and I have the leverage here. And I have had plenty of people I've trained with who are a heck of a lot stronger than I am, and I said, hold it as tight as you can, and I've been able to disarm every one of them. Then I would tap and rack, and I can do this, I can flee, I can draw my own gun, whatever. So I'm going to show you again, slowly, and then we'll do it at more speed. Gun in my head, doesn't matter where it is. As I'm stepping offline, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't kill me. I'm also going up, boom, grabbing the barrel. If he fires the gun, it's not going to hurt my hand. Yes, I have held the barrel of the gun when a round went off, and it doesn't hurt your hand. Almost simultaneously, while I'm grabbing this barrel, I'm reaching around, I'm grabbing the back of the gun, so the back of the slide, and all I'm doing is rotating it towards him, breaks his grip, tap rack, boom, do what I need to do, okay? So now we're going to go with a little more speed. Gun to the side of my head, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Step off, boom, 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 okay? Do it again. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Now one time slow, because I know it's confusing. Obviously, when you do this, use overtraining gun. He just happens to be
standing on the other side, you just reverse this. Please don't kill me. Step 1, stepping offline as I'm grabbing the barrel. Step 2, reaching around, grabbing the back of the gun. All it is a lever. I'm pointing now this way, tap, rack, do what I need to do. That is how you disarm someone when they put a gun to the side of your head. Obviously, hopefully never in a million years do I hope you find yourself in this situation. And if you are going to bad places, which you should, make sure and practice this. So it's not rocket science. This is the one I use. This is what works. I realize there's like a million ninja gun disarms. I've tried a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. And this one is simple. This is one that anybody can do. So go practice this. Also practice with regular firearms training. If you ever want to come and train with me, if you want to see all the courses we offer at Spy Ranch, go to tacticalspyschool.com. A lot of fun stuff there. Stay safe. Practice. God bless you.
Why are they doing that?
Echo.
Holy Cross, Catholic, all male, more than 2,000 white students, 27 black students, many of them as frustrated as Clarence was.
No, I was pissed off. I had evolved from being hopeful to being pissed off. A lot of young people in America was pissed off. And they weren't seeking a reconciliation. Okay. They're seeking a coup. Change the whole thing. We all involved in it. I was involved in the protest. He was, literally everybody went up there. And we, those of us from the South, we were right there with them saying, yeah, man, we want to push.
He definitely was inspired by the Black Panthers. He dressed like them. He talked like them. He had a beret. He had the army fatigues, and he had the army boots.
He wore an afro. He was out there with everyone else. I think it's positive because he had a group. He wasn't alone now.
What's up, Shane? So
I don't know if he had a well-formed political philosophy before he got to Holy Cross. Maybe he was simply going along. But the years, 1968, 1969, gosh, I was there. And the forces of conformity to a sense of outraged fury, resistance, the throwing off of oppression by any means necessary was very seductive, was very compelling to many, many people, among whom was Clarence Thomas.
And he had a hero, Malcolm X.
We want freedom by any means necessary. We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary.
He had a poster of Malcolm X in his dorm room.
Justice Thomas boasted at one point he had read all of his speeches. And he said at one time he could quote me some of them by heart. I mean, so he really did pay attention to Malcolm X.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Clarence Thomas's activism culminated in his junior year as protests broke out 40 miles away in Harvard Square.
An estimated 2,000 radical students from the greater Boston area decided to march to Cambridge and continue demonstrating.
We dragged our way to Harvard Square, where our disorderly parade deteriorated into a full-scale riot.
The demonstration then turned into the most extreme civil disorder in Cambridge history. 4,000 students against 2,000 police.
The police fired rounds of tear gas into the crowd, but that didn't deter us, and we kept on riding well into the night. I got back to campus at 4 in the morning, horrified by what I'd just done.
All over the United States yesterday, there were anti-war protests, most of them peaceful. One was not at Harvard University last night.
Nearly 200 people were injured. 40 students were arrested.
I had let myself be swept up by an angry mob for no good reason, other than that I too was angry.
It's certainly somebody talks about it like, here I am in Harvard Square and like this mini riot. Like, what am I doing here, right? What am I doing?
He was conflicted about what he'd done, who he was, what he stood for.
I don't think anything about Clarence Thomas is simple. I mean, he's a bundle of contradictions, and it seems like there's just always so much inner tension within him. Yes, he was radical like his peers, but not as radical. And he broke with them in various ways. And he's always breaking with whatever the dominant political trope is. He says, you know, he's always talking about how he's not going to do what's fashionable. He wants to be different.
Okay, so I heard these new gummies can knock you out within about an hour, so we're gonna test it. We're watching Stranger Things right now, so let's just see how long it takes. Cheers. Okay, so a little
Anyway,
bit here.
I'm out,
She's
guys.
already passed out, and I can't even keep
Peace.
my eyes open anymore.